This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Hey photographer, Jessica Whitaker here, and in this video I want to give you my #1 tip for overcoming shyness as a photographer. And in photography, working and speaking with our clients is something that we just cannot avoid. But if you're anything like me, I would be so nervous before photo shoots. And my nervousness had nothing to do with getting the shot, the location, preparation, final result. It all revolved around what am I going to talk about with my client. I was just so terrified that we would have nothing to talk about and I was gonna make the experience so awkward. Before we get into the video, I wanna thank my sponsor, Squarespace, for making this video possible.
A photo speaks 1,000 words, but a polished and professional portfolio can get us those $1,000 clients. Enter Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for websites and domains. Photographers, it's time to be done settling for slow-loading websites with tedious plugins. I trust Squarespace's all-in-one platform to keep me booked and busy. Pick from one of their dozens of contemporary drag-and-drop layouts, host your custom domain and email with them, and even conduct successful email campaigns. Everything you need to run a successful photography business under their umbrella and at your fingertips. You can head to squarespace.com to begin your free trial, and when you are ready to launch your beautiful professional website, you can go to squarespace.com/Jessica Whitaker to get 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain.
Before we get into my #1 hack, I want to give you a resource, and it is this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's used in a lot of workplaces, leadership retreats, ministry. It's amazing, and essentially it's about the art of conversation and how to make others feel important and comfortable. This book is an easy read, so even if you hate reading, this will be something that will keep your focus and attention because you are going to learn so many valuable lessons about how to craft a conversation that makes it all about your subject. The tip that I have for you all boils down to people love to talk about themselves. And if we can make the conversation about our clients, we don't have to do much talking. All we have to do is listen. This book pairs so well with this video. I would highly recommend you to check it out. Ask your family members if they own a copy of this book because chances are they do. But you could also buy it used for a couple of dollars or at your local library, but I'll link it online as well down below. I've taken the information I've learned from this book and I've adapted it into my photography business. What I've done is I've created a tool for myself in the Notes app on my phone. I have about 10 questions depending on the photo shoot that I'm doing, whether it's an engagement shoot, couples, if it's senior photos, blogging, branding. You know, we've been invited into these milestone moments in people's lives that they're wanting to celebrate, they're excited to share about. And we have this amazing advantage of conversation because people are excited to talk about these milestone moments and these accomplishments in their life. They want to talk to you about what they're going to be doing with these images for their business or for their blog or for their wedding invitation. They're more than happy to share that with you because they're excited. And so us as photographers, we can really lean into these types of moments and craft conversations that also garner amazing customer experience because your client will feel heard and seen and valued, that they're just not another booking on your calendar, but that they know, you know how important these images are for them. You have to be genuine in asking the questions. I'm going to share some of the questions in a moment. You have to be genuine and you have to actually want to listen. It's not going to work if you're just running through a list, you know, firing off questions as if it's a job interview. And I believe that you are genuine because we wouldn't be in this business of serving people and working so closely with people in these types of moments in their lives if we weren't. When I equip myself with a tool such as questions I'm going to ask my client about themselves, I know that I have nothing to worry about when it comes to awkward silence or what are we going to talk about because I've created a tool for myself. The questions themselves are so simple. Now, the questions that you want to ask them are not the ones that you already should know either through your conversation before an email, on the phone, FaceTime, or on your contact form. So you shouldn't be saying, so is this an engagement shoot or are you guys just dating? If you're doing an engagement session, you can ask them questions such as, how did you meet? What was your first date? What was your favorite date you've been on together? How did they propose to you? What was the weirdest date you've been on if the vibe is there and they're silly? You can kind of go from there. You can even ask them questions about the wedding, because chances are they're going to be very excited to share it with you as a creative, their creative vision for their wedding. They might not have anyone else in their circle who is creative, who can really celebrate the details and the choices that they're making to bring their vision for the wedding to life. This will get them talking, and chances are you won't even finish the list of your questions, because this will just start a whole conversation. On a final note, there's also a bit of a mindset shift that we can start to implement, and that's the social pressure. The people that you're hiring, chances are not your peers. You don't have to have that same pressure that you might feel from friends and family, those at your youth group, those in your high school or in your university, any kind of clubs or activities. They're not hiring Jessica in this social group. They're hiring Jessica, the photographer. So you don't have to have this pressure to perform the same way that we might have in our everyday social circles. We have a different kind of pressure to perform in our photography business and as a business person, but when we can realize that people aren't expecting any more of you than amazing customer service, a good conversation, an amazing client experience. So we don't have to worry about, will they like me? They already love you. That's why they hired you. That's why they're paying you. They love you and your work. We don't have to worry about, am I going to be funny enough? It doesn't matter if we're funny or if we're not funny. They know what to expect because of the wording, the copy on your website, because of how you present yourself on social media. You just have to be yourself. But I hope that that can alleviate a bit of pressure, because for me, this is what I do. Whenever I would go on for a panel to speak, when I would be hosting in-person workshops or the Sister monthly networking group for women in media, for young women in media, I was able to lead with confidence because I didn't have that same pressure that I did maybe going into my church's college group, where we just naturally as people feel a little bit intimidated. I was coming from the perspective of, I'm here to help, I'm here to serve. I'm not here to be served or to be seeking the approval of other people my age or older, younger. You can see my point though. When we can have that switch flipped in our mind, we can go in with even more confidence. It all boils down to crafting an amazing client experience. And if you're interested in learning more about how I do this in my own photography business, I teach it in my online photography workshop, which I'll have linked down below. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new free tutorials for your photography business come out. You can also join my kind, encouraging, and inclusive photography community on Facebook groups called Build and Bloom. And if you want more daily tips, tools, and resources for your photography business, you can find me over on Instagram at Jessica Whitaker. All the information, including this book here, will be linked down below. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.